Wake up, stupid!
You are now tuned in to the Mindless Morning Show. Here are your hosts, Nick and Josh.
Hello and welcome to the pilot episode of the Mindless Morning Show. I'm Nick and I'm here with Josh, and this episode is going to be kind of an introductory so you can get to know us as hosts and as people, decide whether you like us or if we're annoying or what have you. So, Josh, you're here?
Yes.
Yes.
And
okay.
I hope you all love us.
Yeah, me too. Like it'd be great. So, we're going to start out with just kind of basic little bit of background information about us so you kind of know who we are. I guess I'll start. So I'm Nick. I am actually a licensed plumber and I've been plumbing for 10 years. But I always like to say that I'm a new construction and remodel plumber because I found that every time I say straight up, like I'm a plumber, I get people look at me like I'm playing in turds all day. Like, I'm not even kidding. So
That's not what you're doing?
no, yeah, I'm not. It's like, yeah, I actually juggle them.
That's impressive, man.
Like in the homeowner's house, like, hey, what are you doing? You know, no, I do new construction and remodel, and yeah, I enjoy it. So that's about my job. I've got a wife, super supportive, really awesome. I got to say some more things in case she's listening. Beautiful, smart, like really great at cooking and just raising our children. And I've got 3 kids, 9, 4, and I wrote it down. 2, 9, 4, and 2. Oh no, and they're crazy. The house is chaotic, but it's a good time. So that's some of my family. I've got 2 brothers, an older brother and a younger brother. My younger brother is like a year and a half younger than me. My older brother is like 4 years older than me. Yeah, so that's kind of some family stuff. Some background. I like to play guitar. I am not that good. I'm decent, but I'm not. It's like I'm not really that great, but it's fun. And I'm working on a video game, developing one called Guildmaster. It's a nerd game. It's a retro style RPG. It's kind of like those of you that like gaming. It's kind of like Skyrim got together with the Legend of Zelda games, and they had a baby, and that baby is Guildmaster. But we'll get into that like way in the future because that's going to come up every now and then in this podcast. But this podcast is going to be pretty much about everything but that. We're going to get through so much stuff, just goofing off and having a good time. So Josh, you go ahead, my friend.
Well, all right. So I'm tall, dark, handsome, like walks on the beach, like looking at the sunset. It's all good stuff. But aside from that, I am just a lowly housewife.
Yes.
Yeah. No, so I stay at home. I get beat by my wife, and I'm just kidding.
Yes. Well, I mean, do you wear the French maid like suit? That would be great.
She doesn't make me, but like I choose to.
I choose it.
So yeah, no, I stay home. I got my one daughter. I work on the Guildmaster game with you and a few of my own little side projects, and I just kind of do me, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. So Josh works on Guildmaster with me. We'll get into that. We'll get in that a little bit here in the future about how that all started. But yeah, I actually want you to talk more about your other games because one of them I think is hilarious. You know which one that is?
Oh, I already know it, and it's the greatest bathroom game ever made in the history of the universe. And
Agreed.
That is Tappy Turds, where you can play as a flying turd. You can customize that flying turd and kill time while you're taking a dump.
Flying turds.
Yeah. Well, so While you're dropping them, keep them flying.
Yes, like it's literal crap. And one thing that when we talked about this the first time, what cracked me up about it was like Android is like, yeah, dude, play that game. Cool. And Apple's like, no, it's not appropriate.
Yeah, Apple just totally like just pooped on my poop. And like I even gave like this huge, super long professional appeal, and I still feel like I just got one of those copy and paste, like, yeah, screw you. Not
like,
happening.
No, not gonna happen.
Yeah, it was a pretty defeated moment.
It's such a letdown. That's such a letdown because it's a great game. It's a great idea too. Like it's just, I don't know, it's all around just perfect for the bathroom, the theme, and then what you do. It's wonderful.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it really shows my immature side. I think it captures it beautifully.
Yes, but you also have a mature side too, because I know your other game, the one that you're working on, like kind of back burner, but I mean that one is like a total 180.
Yeah, so it's a little more of a cleaner area. Some would disagree, but it's Toothy, Project Toothy. And basically you play as a tooth and you kind of just learn some things, literally like actual education. I work with a dentist who's a buddy of mine who I get information from, and we pass notes and things, and he's a gamer, so it's perfect. He comes up with a lot of really, really cool ideas for me to implement with what he knows with gaming, so it works out well.
It's like perfect snippets of information. And it's funny because like now that I think about it, it's almost like you're making like Toofy to be like a screw you Apple. I'm gonna make a game so clean, there's no way that you can shut it down.
Man, I'll be honest though, like I don't even know if I want it to be on Apple. I think Toofy's gonna be too good for Apple.
I agree. But then it's almost like you can go back to Tappy Turds and do like the same thing that you're doing with Toofy and just add a bunch of like plumbing and sewer like facts. Like the first sewer was made in blah blah blah, and then be like, now look at it, Apple. Look what you missed out on.
I'll be like, yeah, okay, pointless facts. Move on.
Yeah.
While they're playing their pimple popping app.
yeah, right. That's such hypocrisy because I do know they've got some stuff that somehow made it through the crowd. I think it really just depends on who you get.
Like, yeah, no, and for sure, it dude, Ellie with Apple reviews. If you are listening to this, I hate you.
Yeah. I mean, but also like support the show, you know, like it's cool.
Yes, please share with your friends. We gave you a shout out.
Oh, that's great. You got anything else you're working on you want to mention?
Well, I just have like a ARPG in very early development that will be kind of like a very miniature version of the old school Zeldas, and a mobile hack and slash that's just going to be like heavy metal rock demons like slashing, having fun. Just another time killer.
Which is great. It's like, see, and that's such a good thing for mobile games is you want something that's like super easy to pick up and to play. And then like whenever I don't really play a whole lot of mobile games, but whenever I did, it was like I was waiting for takeout. Like I was sitting in the little like area. This is like pre-COVID. I was sitting and waiting to get for them to say like, Nick, your food's ready. Like I was just sitting on the little couch at like Chili's or whatever, just playing phone games. And it's perfect because it's something that you can just pick up and play and then put down and then go about your day. It's great for that.
Yeah, and if you're young and your mom tells you to pause it, you can just like shut the phone off. It's okay.
Right?
Everything's fine.
So it'll prevent you from getting in arguments with parents, kids. It's great.
Yes.
It's absolutely
play mobile
great.
games, play Tappy Turds.
It's like playing an online game, and it's such a cliche now. Like nowadays, like, hey, pause it. Like, it's online. Pause it. Like, no, you don't get it. Like, I can't pause real life.
Everybody else around the world.
If there was some type of like, oh, that would be so annoying. Anytime somebody pushed the pause button, everybody froze on the game. You just can't move. Oh my god, horrible. That would be horrible. Now that's one topic I would like to eventually do on the show where we come up with dozens of just horrible game-breaking features that would just ruin games. Like, paying a legit, not a real money, but paying like money in Grand Theft Auto for like car insurance and electricity bills and stuff. So it's like,
Oh, that'd be terrible.
it would be horrible. Or like every single time you ran into another car, you had to either get out of your car and go over to the NPC and like exchange information, and then you'd lose a little bit of money. But if you did a hit and run, you'd lose like 3 times as much money. That'd be horrible. People would be like stopping at lights and stuff on GTA.
This game's a little too realistic.
It's too much. It's too much. So, anything else you want to talk about your background or anything like that?
Well, okay, yeah. So I did HVAC for about 7 years. For those who don't know what HVAC is, it's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. I could basically fix just about any air conditioning equipment, kitchen equipment. Got a lot of hands-on experience and lot of worked with a lot of really knowledgeable people, and also have some absolutely insane stories to tell later on in these podcasts.
And I will say, the fact that you've done HVAC for so long is literally the only reason why we're friends. Because eventually I'm going to need to know something, and so I'm just going to have to hit you up. And that's kind of why you're here. That's why we're doing this.
I'm just a little hurt right now.
Like, I'm also like kind of like, wow, he really respects.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. We're going on a break. We'll be right back.
Wait, what? Yeah. So, that is really cool, man. And same here with stories and how trades go, like with construction. We've got stories for days, so we'll throw in some stories and stuff, and it's going to be really funny for sure. And then another thing that we do really want to talk about here is we want as many of you guys to be active with us as possible. That way we can have content coming in while we're coming up with it on our own. We want you guys to kind of shape the content too. So we can bring comments in from you guys, and even bring in some of you guys as guests. Like, you don't have to be a specialist or anything to be on the show. Just want to hang out, tell stories, and have a good time and laugh. That's really what a lot of this is about.
Yeah, no, that would be really awesome to have your guys' input, and to hear from you guys and how we do. I mean, even if you guys want to be super, super critical of what we're doing.
and like, we have a Discord channel, a Discord server for the show. So I just like imagine like 30 people all joining and saying, "You suck, give up," and then like leaving right after. Like, oh.
And I mean, that's fine. Just be a little more constructive with your feedback, please.
Like, no, you just suck. God dang, every single week the same people join and then like crap on us and then bail. So
yeah, that's all right.
So then, talking about what Discord is, for some of you guys that might not know, it's like a multinational global communication app, and it's free, and you can talk with people from London or Brazil or anywhere. Anybody that has a free Discord account, you can communicate with people. So there's a ton of different servers for different organizations and projects that pop up. And so Guildmaster, the game that Josh and I are working on, has a Discord server, as well as the Mindless Morning Show here. So we are going to put some links in a lot of our episodes, so you can join those if you want to set up an account or something. You can join it, and then you can talk to us like a lot more if you wanted, if that's like your thing. Like, these guys are cool, I want to hang out with them and talk to them, then you can pretty much any time of the day. So yeah, if you join, that would be really cool. So then I'm going to move on a little bit to how me and Josh met. We met on Discord here. So we live in different states. Never really been in the same room or anything like that.
That you know of.
That's true. I mean, you are kind of creepy. I could see you doing some weird crap, like driving across state lines just to like hang out in my bedroom.
Absolutely.
Is that why I have like bruises on my leg? Are you like just punching me in my sleep? I'm just not waking up.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. So
see what happens, bro.
Yeah. So we met on Discord, but we actually met on a server that has nothing to do with our independent projects. And I don't know who talked to who first. You know, maybe me, maybe him, probably him. He's a little desperate. But He came and we eventually joined each other's servers. Yeah, so we became server brothers and
buddies.
best buds. Yeah, so now we're working on projects together and stuff like that. And I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and we'll drop a link for them and a shout out for them here if you guys want to listen to the Nerd Table. It's a podcast that's all things nerd related. Superheroes, board games, video games, comic books, all sorts of stuff like that. We'll post a link for them in there too. But I was on their show and we talked about Guildmaster. So if you do want to know about the game more, then you can listen to that. Or, I mean, you can just straight up ask me too, because I'll talk to anybody about it. But that episode has a ton of information about the game if you ended up clicking that link. So we'll post that link too in the description here. But we met there and we worked on each other's projects and stuff like that. Well, I didn't really work on his, but that's not because I don't like them. It's because Guildmaster is a massive game. And
it's because he doesn't really want to help me.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, but I mean, really, you're right. No. So that's how we met, got all of this started, and I did my podcast with the Nerd Table, and there was people that wanted us to make one of our own because they thought that it was interesting and they feel like we have something to say. But then it's funny because like the first thing we do is we're like, let's name it Mindless Morning Show because we don't have much to say, but we're gonna try.
Yeah, if you haven't been able to tell, I'm pretty silent in my little corner over here.
Shut up.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
So yeah, so that's how we got things going. So we started the show. So kind of what we want to do with the show is every week is going to be a topic, and these topics, they really have no set requirements. I mean, it could be something very similar like food or all sorts of different topics. And we're going to talk about, tell stories, discuss these topics and make it interesting and fun, and then you guys can definitely join in. And at the end of each episode, I'll say what the topic for next week is going to be. So if you want, you can send in your input too, because a lot of the show we can build with what you guys say, because that's what a lot of this is. And then, like I said, a lot of you can join the show and like hang out with us and do a show with us, even though like you don't need to be a specialist in any industry. You can just come join, hang out.
Yeah, if you're a cool person to talk to, I mean, we definitely want to talk to you. I mean, even if you're not a cool person, you can come on your show, our show, and we'll rag on you a little bit. That's fine.
You can just come on here and just insult us the whole time. We're just like, oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, and I really didn't like when you talked about that. Like, oh, you don't say. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I guess we'll keep doing this for another hour. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you a burning question that's could be a make it or break it for the show here. What is your favorite color?
All right. I mean, like, why does it make it or break it, though? Like, what?
If you say the wrong color, dude, I'm logging out and we're done.
All right. Man. It's cobalt blue.
I accept. That sounds cool. I don't know exactly what shade that is, but I like it.
I'm just glad I didn't say pink.
Pink would have been acceptable too. I mean, really, at this point, any of them would have been fine because I don't want to just bail. So it was a bluff.
Okay, good.
So mine is light blue, and I actually have a decent reason. It kind of reminds me of like. So I'm 30. I didn't mention that earlier, but I'm 30 years old. And I don't know, when I think about like sky blue or light blue, it just kind of makes me think of the 90s, like playing outside and just being out there. And it was such a good time. It was such a good time, like growing up when we grew up.
90s were definitely an amazing time for me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I really only experienced 7 years of it, so you guys can do the math and figure out my age now, but
27. I did it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Wow, that was like a really cool calculator.
Yeah. A voice calculator that doesn't sound sure of what it's actually like. 3 times 3, 9? Yeah.
I like it.
That's actually a great idea.
Have a very questionable like calculator. Make the people that are using it question the calculator they're using.
4 plus 4. 8. Wait, I don't
Wait, is this
know. I
thing
guess. I
sure?
mean, I
How do
know
I
that's
know?
right. Oh, that's awesome. I really want that as an app or something now. That would be so perfect. Um, we'll have to talk to Eugene about that. Speaking of Eugene, I'll talk about who he is in just a little bit too. Actually, I'll talk about that now. So,
Yeah.
Guildmaster has 5 people working on it. And once we get more into what that game is, because you'll hear about it for sure, the 5 people working on it are me and Josh, and then Eugene, who is, we call him the cyborg, and he is like a programming genius. And I'm not even kidding. He could work on like any game, AAA games. He can program anything, any software. It doesn't matter.
He is the
So,
machine.
yeah. So he's working on Guildmaster with us, and then my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, her best friend's mom is working with us too, and she is an artist. So the art for the game is awesome because before I did the art, and it was not very great. Yeah. Hey, at least I like admit it. I'm like, screw you, man. Screw you. Like, it's like, dude, calm down. It's just pixel art. Screw you. Like, so we've got that going. And then CJ is working with us now. And I met him kind of the same way I met Josh through Discord servers. And eventually he talked to me and we were talking about the game lore and how the game works and the features and stuff. And he's like, I really want this to be a thing. Like, please let me help you. So I was like, do you know how to animate? And he's like, yeah, a little bit. And I said, good enough. We can do this. Like, it's sprite sheet animations with it. If you don't know, it's kind of like old school, like flipbook style to where you draw each frame individually. So you can do it. It's just a lot of trial and error to make it look right. So that's the team for the game, and we all work on it pretty regularly and try to get it going. But you'll hear more about that in the future. So moving on, unless you have anything to say, Sir Josh.
I'm super excited to tell you guys about GM when we get to it.
Me too. And we'll sprinkle stuff in, and then obviously we'll post the game. Like I will say this is like a kind of like a teaser. There is, and I can say this with confidence, literally no other retro style RPG like this on the market. There is not.
No, we're definitely going to come in like with a storm. Like this is definitely, hopefully, going to be a big top-notch game that many people across many age ranges and all will want to play.
Well, and that's cool too, because on the game server, there's people of all different ages. And here's another thing I got to give props to the server here is the people on it are awesome, just completely awesome.
An amazing community amongst our servers that like we have some very talented individuals that can do some crazy drawings. There's people that do videos that we have a lot.
Yeah, and not to mention, if you join the server, you will be greeted by people that are nice and not like so much on the internet is just toxic and terrible, and it's just you want to just like gross, But our servers are just everyone is really great and really nice and really kind. And so it's such a fun place. I like, and that's why we're there all the time because it's such a good place to be.
Yeah, it's pretty much the best place to get a hold of us. So that's why we want to leave these links in the description for you guys, so that if you do want to have suggestions for the show, talk to us about anything, or if you're more interested on the game and like have to know right now,
which you should.
It'll be there for you, and we're here. Yeah, and you definitely.
Yeah, we're here. We are here for sure. So, so then I have a question. Also, is I know this answer. I do, but just so we can kind of get a breakdown of who we are as people, what kind of music are you into?
It's a very good question. I have a lot. I have a very, very wide range. I guess I go through basically every end of the spectrum because I will listen to anything from like old school jazz to deathcore metal from Germany that I don't even understand. I just want to scream with it. I mean, a lot of people say they hate country. There's, it's not my favorite, but there's definitely some out there that are good and tolerable, and I know a lot of you are cringing right now.
Yep, I am. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of the show without Josh. I went ahead and blocked him, so we're gonna
Okay, bye.
Oh yeah, and I mean, my horizon is not nearly as broad. I definitely like music. I mean, I play guitar. Once again, I'm not that great, but I have written songs and stuff, and I really love that aspect of it. But I generally stick with, I've got like chill indie music, like the Shins and like Death Cab for Cutie and stuff. But then pretty much in between that and the heaviest like deathcore metal you can get. So I'm in that range. So it's somewhat of a range, but I kind of just stay there. I don't really do rap or country or polka or Martian music.
I mean, you just gotta listen to whatever suits the mood, man. That's the beauty of music. It's for you.
Wow, that was
So deep.
took my breath away. Oh, beautiful. So, I guess I'll say the big reason why I want to do this podcast is because I really do need an outlet for my talking, because I talk a lot and I can talk about anything. And my wife is not like that. And so I just talk and talk and talk about everything. And she's kind of just like, dude, you need to just do this somewhere else. So like, okay. So that's one of my big reasons why I want to do this. And I do want to branch out and bring people together. Because I will also say another thing about our servers is like, it's kind of weird when you make a project and you start a server and people join that server and then they talk and then they come up with things. It's like, you know where I'm going with this? Like, this would have never happened had you not just started this community. Like, there's people that are working on games together in my server that are working on their own projects now because they met and they live in different continents. It's crazy.
Yeah, the power that a community can have, especially like through platforms such as Discord, which Discord, I hope you sponsor us one day. Is that I mean, it really does bring people together in like the best ways, because these are people that are in specific communities that they want to be a part of. These are things that everyone has something in common. And
yes,
it's not like Talksbook where you post something and all those supposed friends of yours like tear you apart like piranhas.
Yeah, so terrible.
Yeah, Discord, our Discord servers specifically,
Only ours.
Only ours.
No.
Nobody else is good. They all suck.
No one else is good. Yeah,
it's great. It's because you share that foundation of stuff with people, and it's good. It's good stuff.
And it's such a huge difference between like what was it called, like chat roulette, where it was just literally
that was
you
like
just
predator play, like roulette.
yes, yeah, it was like the worst idea.
That was scary.
Where you just randomly, I never tried it, I never wanted to, but I can only imagine the types of horrible things that people were subjected to through that, because of how it's just totally random, no strings attached on anything. And Discord is totally different because everybody has a similar desire to join a community. And even if you are that type of person that's like, I don't know, a little pervy and weird, there's servers that you can join where you can do that. Like it's like everything is in there. But that's not our server.
No, don't bring that there.
Don't come in there and start like posting weird stuff. But everybody has kind of a like mind about it, and just seeing a bunch of people in the servers that are working on projects together. Had I not started my project, they would never have spoken in their entire lives. Crazy.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get over it. It's really cool whenever I think about it. So yeah, I think that's really cool. So then another question I have, because we were talking about kind of growing up in the 90s a little bit earlier. One thing that a lot of people talk about when you're young is, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now, Josh, did you have any idea what you wanted to be when you were little and growing up?
I wanted to be an astronaut.
Yay! Look how far you've fallen.
No, I've been a pretty lost individual for a very long time, and I always kind of grew up like not really knowing what I wanted to do, just because of the fact that I knew that there's so much out there to do. Like, how am I gonna know? Like,
Yeah, right.
I want to like get my hands on it first to try it out before I make a decision. I'm not looking at shit on paper.
Well, yeah. It's funny you answer it like that, because I imagine you as like a 6-year-old kid being like, well, hold on, let me think of the options here. Like, I don't know if I could just jump into something like that all willy-nilly. I'm not 8.
Hold on, guys. I'm too young for a commitment. All right, let me just explore my options.
It's like, I mean, like when you're a little kid, you go to like a museum and then you go home and you're like, I want to be a scientist. And you're like, oh, that's because you were looking at like discoveries all day, or you see stuff like that. So immediately you're like, that's what I want. Like my 8-year-old, she wants to. The last I checked, it could have changed, but she wanted to work at like a horse farm and like breed horses and ride horses, and that's like her thing. She loves horses. But I mean, you never know. I could ask her in a year and she might have gotten into a sport. And now she's like, I want to be that. I want to do that. And it's funny that you answer it like that, because really I'm kind of similar as far as not really knowing, because I felt like at the time I was like the only kid that would you ask like, hey, Nick, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, ow. Like, no, you're no fun kid. Like you don't know? Nope. I'm like, okay, I guess go away and play. Like, you're boring. Like, I don't like. I had no idea, and I never knew. Even whenever I was graduating high school, I'm just no idea, just no clue.
Dude, it would always baffle me. I'd ask people that like straight up said like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a dentist. I'm gonna be a vet." Why?
Yeah.
How are you going to like? How do you know that's what you really want to do right now?
You wouldn't let them have it. You're just like, no, I'm gonna question you.
I mean, I was just, yeah, it does kind of sound like a bad thing, but I was more so just like intrigued, like how are they doing it? What am I missing here?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's just these some people just something sticks, man, and they're just like, that's what I want to do. I never had that moment, but it kind of blows because now, as a 30-year-old guy, I'm like, I really want to make Guildmaster. Like, that is like that's my thing I want to do. But I'm 30 now, and I've got a wife and 3 kids, so I only get to work on it like 2 hours a night if I'm not doing anything else. So it's like, why couldn't I have really thought about that and done that a long time ago? And I don't know if I was talking to you about this, but I think I know why. I think I was talking to you about this, but I'm going to bring it up again because it's an interesting point. Video games, getting into them was never something that seemed accessible when we were kids.
In terms of what, like playing them or developing them?
No, playing them was like easy as pie. I mean, God, I started playing games when I was 5 years old, but I never thought like I could grow up and make these. I don't know why it seemed like it was out of reach. I never heard anybody. And when I was growing up, elementary school, middle school, like we played games, like everyone in my inner circle played games, yet not one single one of us was like, I'm going to make games. Never came up.
Well, I mean, things have definitely improved. They've come a long way since then. And I mean, I remember booting up my PC and listening to the really loud dial-up startup and everything. Yeah, you guys all know the tone.
Let's reenact it.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do
it. And maybe I'll put a little soundbite here.
Oh yes.
And no, it's definitely come a long way. And I must say, I grew up constantly playing games. My parents were big gamers. They had all the games and systems, and so I would play them. And I never once crossed my mind I would ever make a game. I always thought like, hey, it would be cool if I made my own, but like I never really put like actual thought into it. Just like, hey, that'd be cool. And there's just so much out there for anybody and everybody to literally completely teach themselves online.
Yes.
Absolutely free.
YouTube University, right?
Oh, absolutely, man.
And also Unity, the game engine that we're using, Guildmaster, which is going to be, like I said, an insanely complex game. The Unity game engine is free. You can download it for free and start tinkering around and trying to make a game. It's crazy.
I mean, you don't even have to try. You can literally follow along tutorials online, and you will make one.
Yeah,
and then you just got to make some art and learn to make it yours.
Yes,
that's all you got to do.
Exactly. If you come up with a really great, unique idea, and you can jump on it, you can download Unity and you can just start hammering away at the details and figuring it out and just watching videos and tutorials, and eventually you'll be able to do it all by yourself.
And I must say, making video games has given me a newfound respect for like all games I play. Like I don't just like play a game like that sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it really does change it.
I do appreciate what the developers go through now, and it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And then it still blows my mind too, because I understand the complexities and I understand how things are done. But even still, I'll be thinking about something with Guildmaster and I'll message Eugene and I'll be like, hey, so are we really going to be able to do this and this and this? And he replies back, oh, yes, easy. I'm like, how? That's crazy to me. Like, in my head, I can't figure out the logic to do it in my head. And he's just like, oh, yeah, no, it's easy. I got it. Like, this is incredible.
There's definitely a gift to that man.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Oh, and also, if you guys join the Discord server for Guildmaster, you can talk to Eugene.
Yeah, I think he's like almost always willing and more than happy to help with anything.
Yeah, always. Now, like if we get really big and people come back and listen to the pilot, there's going to be like 40 people all messaging Eugene at the same time. Hey, I can't get Unity to open. Be like, hey, Eugene, we're sorry, man. This is our bad.
$5 every person who asks question.
Yes. Like, okay, I can actually do that. That's cool. That reminds me of that website Fiverr.
Yeah,
that's a great one for you guys. If you wanted to do anything like this, you can hire people to do like very small tasks that you're just not quite sure of, and you don't have to pay a ton of money, and it's like a one-time thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's actually where the theme song for Tappy Turds was born.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Fiverr.
I tried my hand at some chiptune, but I don't have the ear for it whatsoever. It was just sounding like really bad, loud garbage. So.
And the music is not farts.
No, the music is honestly like probably the best part of that game.
Oh, well, that's good props to that guy. So you had a really good experience with Fiverr, so that's perfect.
Yes.
Fiverr.
Sponsor us.
I don't know why whispering it makes me feel like it's going to be like some type of the CEO's is going to wake up from sleeping and you sponsored this show that I don't know anything about. Me one time. Oh, that's funny. So speaking of video games, then what was the first game that you recall you've ever beaten?
It was.
Dude, I know. I can go first if you need time.
No, I know the first game. It's just every time I think about it, it upsets me because it's so ridiculously like I have to be rich in order to get a hold of a physical copy of it now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but the very very first game I ever beat, it was Klonoa, Door to Phantomile.
I've never even heard of it. How? What a shame. What was it on?
It was for PlayStation 1. It was a platform, and I'm still not really sure what the animal was. He was just kind of like I don't know, like a really long-eared bunny or something.
Nice.
Actually, probably. But yeah, no, it was something that was fairly easy to pick up. From my memory, the graphics were good. I'm sure if I played it now, I would disagree.
Yes. Like, this game's a dumpster fire now.
Yeah, but it's crazy to get a hold of it now. Like you got to spend like minimum $400 to thousands of dollars just to get it.
Wow. So I'm assuming when they made that game, they weren't expecting it to be as big, so they didn't have that many copies made.
You would think that, but there was like a whole series of Klonoa games.
Wow. Klonoa doesn't sound. It sounds like some type of detergent or something. Like That's like, it's like, man, what a game. Like, yeah, you run a laundromat. Like, you beat it? Like, yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what. If there is a laundry detergent that ever comes out named Klonoa, I'm buying it.
I would too. I mean, it's actually a pretty cool name. I like it. It's awesome. The first game I ever beat was a regular Nintendo game called Karate Kid. It was Karate Kid. It was a side scroller beat 'em up on regular Nintendo, and it was really hard. And the only reason why I remember beating it is because I accidentally broke the controller when I beat it.
Wow, that excited, huh?
It was like like when I beat it, I don't know. You know how like in the board game, like I won, they throw their hands up and get all excited. I kind of did that, and the controller came unplugged and hit the ceiling, and it came down and it was cracked. And it still worked. It still worked. It just had a big crack along the bottom of it, but it still worked. But I was like, because that was one of those games, man, where it was like, you lose your lives, you're done, and you got to start all over at the beginning.
Yeah.
And man, I was like a kid, and I somehow managed to beat it.
You clearly had a high level of patience there for that.
I played it a lot. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that really is what it boils down to, because I played it a lot, and I remember there was like a typhoon level where you're like, going left to right like Mario, but there's like a typhoon, and there's like, I think it was birds that were like flying in the wind, and they would hit you and kill you in one hit. It's just like, the game was so hard, but I remember when I beat it, that was incredible. It was such a good feeling. And I kind of want to revert back to something you mentioned. Your parents gamed.
Oh yeah, heavily.
That's amazing to me, because I never had that.
Yeah, they kind of I mean, like, I think one of their first dates was just like gaming at an arcade or something, but I know
That's awesome.
I think the one thing that like really sold like their relationship together is I can't remember what holiday it was, or if it was even a holiday. Maybe it was Valentine's Day. My dad had bought her a Nintendo system, and they played Mario together constantly, and like that was their time. And thankfully, they always gamed after that, and yeah, like I never had to worry about, oh, can I get this game? Like my dad already wanted it, and he got it.
Yeah, I want it too, dude.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
I was very fortunate there.
Man, that's gotta be rare. That's gotta be rare. Like if anybody listening's had the same type of like upbringing, let us know. I really want to know like how many people have had that, because that was totally unheard of. Yeah. None of my friends had parents that gamed. Zero.
It's true. There was a lot of times like I would tell my friends, "Oh, I can't play right now. Like my parents are using the system." What?
Like what? You're joking. Clearly, like, that is really cool to me. And I guess that it would be the only downside is like you really want to play a certain game, and they're like, "No, go away. Like clean your room."
Yeah. Yeah. It worked out though in the end. Like eventually we had multiple systems and all played together.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so I got into gaming. I did mention this in my podcast with the Nerd Table, but I got into gaming by my older brother. He was always playing not always, but he was playing regular Nintendo and then Super Nintendo and stuff like that. So when he was playing the Super Nintendo, I would go into my room and play the regular Nintendo and play all the old games that were really hard. And he got me into it kind of like that, because he would play and I would always want to. And he grew out of games, which I guess is a thing. And I did not. And I just kept on going, got the N64 and GameCube and all that as those started coming out. I never got PlayStation 1. I got PlayStation 2, but I never got PlayStation 1. So I missed out on those games.
I feel like people who fall out of playing video games are just like total narcs.
Yeah, you hear that, listeners? Except we like you still, but you're narcs.
Yeah. How could you not
let's just bash like a group of people on our pilot. Let's do it. Oh, that's hilarious.
Hey man, I'm just saying, like It's just games. There's so many different types of games. They're for everybody.
So many. I mean, you could find a game about, especially nowadays with all the indie companies that are making stuff. You can find it. There's a game called Pigeon Simulator.
Yeah, I mean,
And it actually looks hilarious. You can like poop on people and fly into stuff. And the pigeon, it's like a 3D open world game. It looks really good. And you fly around and you can fly into people's faces. And it's got ragdoll physics. So if you run into like a window, you look like a real pigeon that just like ran into a window.
oh, that's amazing. I have yet to hear that. I played Goat Simulator. I got to play as a goat. That was pretty cool.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Are you like on a farm or a city or what?
I think initially, like, it just kind of put me what seemed like a neighborhood because I was kind of in somebody's backyard. Yeah, I went out to like the road. I started like ramming cars. I was ramming people if like they just
What a
looked at me
great game
wrong.
to play. What a great game to play when you're drunk.
Oh, absolutely, dude. There's just so many games out there. To say you don't like video games, it just means you've never played a good video game that suits you.
I have to agree. I really do because I mean, it's got to be so hard to just say no. Like, well, have you ever played one? Well, no, but they're immature and no. Like, dude, come on.
They make our children violent. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're a goat. So speaking of drinking, what type of drinks do you like?
So are we talking alcoholic or are we talking anything?
Let's do alcoholic first.
All right. So alcoholic, I try to mainly stick with just whiskey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Something light.
Yeah, something very, very easy on the stomach.
Yeah.
I used to be a heavy beer drinker, and I don't know, I just had like really bad beer one day at a bar. Like it was like, I don't know, it must have come out of like the most moldy lines possible. Like I had like 3 sips of this beer. Mind you, I had been feeling great the entire day prior.
Yeah.
3 sips of this beer, dude, and I was throwing up, just feeling like I was dying inside.
Oh God! Do you recall what beer it was? Let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, sorry, Budweiser.
Sorry about this.
I liked you for a while, but you let me down. But yeah, no, Budweiser, it did me really, really dirty. And ever since then, I was just like, you know what? I'm good with my hard liquor. I can handle my whiskey. I like it. It's good.
There you go. It's funny because like I imagine, and I don't know why I would think this, but I imagine some like Budweiser like rep listening to this, but what? We're moldy. That's not on us.
We gotta go find this
man.
bar.
Like, it's like I don't know why he's listening to our show, but he's like CEO of Budweiser's like, oh come on guys, that's not cool.
I mean, hey, I drank you guys for a while.
There you go. Yeah, you gave him some money. You gave him some money.
Yeah, I gave him
So then your non-alcoholic choice, what would you say?
My favorite drink, non-alcoholic, would be horchata, which is like this Spanish. I don't even really know what it is. It's like a coconut with like cinnamon spice or something. I don't know, but it's amazing and I love it.
It's awesome. It's like, what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink? No idea.
Yeah, no idea what goes in it. I just know it tastes good.
Now this is gonna show my ignorance, which is vast at this point. Which is great that I'm on the show called Mindless Morning Show because this is part of why I thought that horchata was an alcoholic beverage.
No, you are thinking of coquito.
Maybe. You know what? You saved me. You're right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and you know what? They look exactly the same. Like the same texture and like white color with a little bit of like spice in it. Yeah, that's it though.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Some Spanish person listening to this is probably listening to this like, oh, these stupid gringos. Horchata is coquito, but with alcohol.
I like how we're already like in the pilot. We're like everyone is listening. Literally everyone. The CEO of Budweiser.
Absolutely, man. Everyone's gonna listen.
Which is true. I mean, it's great. We're huge already. Like already this massive. And okay, I will say one thing. That in our communities that we've talked to about this, there is interest. Okay, you guys, there is interest. People want to be on the show. They want to be guests, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be mindless.
And I know at least one person who's Spanish laughing really hard right now.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure. Okay, so then my alcohol drinks are really boring. Like, I only drink beer. And now that sounds bad. Like, no, I only drink beer. You want some water? No, only beer. Like, dude, it's 8 in the morning. No, only beer. No, I just drink like Bud Light, Miller Lite, Budweiser. CEO, be happy. I drink it sometimes.
So like just a bunch of light beers.
Yeah, that's really it, man. And it wasn't always this way. I had a couple of bad experiences, which we will get into in the future. So there's a spoiler there that eventually I'll tell a couple of drunk stories.
Yeah.
And why I'm just like not into it. Like, nope, shots. No, I'm good. I just stick with beer. That's just me. So it's basically your whiskey. You stick with that. You know, like how much is your good limit to go. That's kind of how I am with beer. So, and then my non-alcoholic is what's this stuff called? Absinthe.
Okay.
No, it's like, whoa, that's my water.
Yeah, that's a big step. So I actually have yet to try it, but I have a really good buddy of mine, somebody who actually does want to be a guest on this show. He doesn't drink like almost at all. Like he won't. Even for celebrating, the only time like he'll really do it is if you have some absinthe, he'll be like, okay, yeah, let's drink it. And only if it's like the good one that's made with wormwood. I guess if it's not made with wormwood, it's garbage. I can't specifically.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't genuinely speak on it. This is just what I've heard, or at least what I think I remember. So
yeah, you're right. And also for those of you that have been listening to that, when I said absinthe as my favorite non-alcoholic drink, I was lying.
Oh,
well, clearly, I'm such a weakling when it comes to Dr. Pepper. You remember I told you like a couple weeks ago, like I'm quitting it.
You're still on it.
I didn't quit it.
Did you upgrade though to like the new Dr. Pepper and cream soda?
I have not, but that's only because I haven't searched for it. When I get it, it's like I know I need to cut back, so I get it like in shame at the gas station, at the fountain. I'm just like looking around, like I shouldn't be doing this, and then I do it.
There's plenty of worse things you could be doing. Dr. Pepper.
That's true. See, and that makes me feel better. I'm just gonna do it even more now.
I mean, dude, it says doctor in the name. It's got to be good for you,
right? Oh, that's a great idea. That's so great. That's what I tell my wife. She's like, you should probably not drink it as much. I'm like, it's made with water, so it's like water.
I gotta see the doctor. I need to make sure I'm okay.
I also say the same thing because like I'm a plumber, so I do a lot of manual labor, and so like my wife will be like, like that's really not good for you to eat that much. I'm like, I just sweat it out, sweat it out during the day. And she's like, that's not how science works. She went to college, so I'm always like, whatever. You just went to college. You don't know. It's not. It's like
you don't know real life.
You think you're smart? You come work with me. You sweat it out, bro. So that's my favorite drink, non-alcoholic, is Dr. Pepper for sure. But I will say, because I live in Texas, so the summers here are brutal. So I do drink a lot more water here in the summertime than I do the wintertime. That's one thing.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, man. I'm really, really bad with drinking water. Like, I need like one of those little flavor shots or something. Like, I just hate water. I think it's the stupidest, most boring drink in the world.
It is. Like, it really is, man.
I'm literally. I know what people are thinking right now. I'm literally like those people in Idiocracy, like Gatorade. It's
no, it's Rondo.
Yeah.
Rondo.
And
it has electrolytes.
I don't know, man. I no matter how crappy I'll feel, like I don't want it. I prefer soda, prefer liquor or juice. I'll drink juice. I
It's like
I don't want.
you're really sick, and the doctor's like, just go home and drink some water. I'd rather die.
Basically.
Okay.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
take medicine whatsoever. I won't even take Tylenol. I'll suffer. I don't.
So whenever you were doing HVAC though, and you'd get like really hot, sweaty, gross, water had to have been good then. Cold water when you are like just totally exhausted and sweaty and tired.
Yeah, I would grab like maybe.
Otherwise, you're not a human.
Yeah, no, I would down like one of those little tiny plastic cups or two,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would go and get what I felt I needed, which was an energy drink. Like I purely survived off of Rockstar energy drinks for like an entire year. I would have at least 2 every day at work.
Pound them. So you, what's your favorite Rockstar then? They have flavors, right?
So I would have to say my favorite Rockstar is the original Rockstar. I dabbled in a few of the flavors, but I just like the original flavor more.
Keep it simple. And that's funny because that's exactly how I am with ice cream. Vanilla. That's it, man. That's my favorite. That's where I stuck.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, the one big energy drink flavors that I did like were the Monster coffees.
Gross.
Oh, what?
Dude, all right. It's like I'm a host of the Mindless Morning Show, and the freaking logo is a coffee mug, and I'm like, coffee sucks. I don't like it. Don't like it. I know. Everybody's going to just, like, throw me under the bus here. I don't like it. I've never liked it. And
I'm no longer watching this show. He doesn't drink coffee.
Hey, quiet, you. How'd you get that duct tape off your mouth? Quiet. You know. So yeah, I don't like it. I've never liked it, and I went into it like with such an open mind. I'm like, it smells pretty good, man. And then I drank some, and I'm like, dang, this sucks. And yeah,
I have to have mine every morning.
And I've mistakenly like leaned over and like took a drink out of Caitlin's straw, you know, thinking it was water or something, and it's coffee. I'm like, no, why? So I can't even surprise like it. It's just automatic.
I can't even surprise like it.
Like, weird water. I guess it was all right though. Like, no, I knew right away. Not cool.
That's some dirty gym sock water.
Yeah. So you don't like it either. Yeah, no, it's terrible. So,
I used to hate it. I used to think it was absolutely disgusting. Now it's like runs through my veins.
Does that mean you're like more grown up than me?
No, I don't think that's at all what that means.
Okay.
If you like wine, that's when you've grown up.
I like white wine.
Oh, I say I don't even like it, so you're already more mature.
Oh, dang it. Nobody wants that. Like when you're young, you do. Obviously, you're like, yeah.
They call it that acquired taste. Once you acquire real adulthood when you're old.
Well, see that whole acquired taste thing. I don't really know, man, because there's so many things I'm like, all right, this is supposed to be an acquired taste, like sour cream. Don't like it. Never liked it. No.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I will.
Like your taste buds, they change over time, and if I'm not mistaken, you can develop a different set of tastes.
You're thinking of that's called torture.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Like every day I'm eating sour cream, and every day I hate life. Like this is not fun. I don't know. Just thinking about it now, I was like, no, I don't like it.
I love sour cream. I gotta put it on my fajitas all the time.
No, man. Well, that's why you suck.
Yeah.
No, it's like oh, all right. So we're making a medieval RPG game. So imagine we're in like a medieval world. What would your weapon be?
Oh, easily, hands down. Don't even need to think about it. Bow and arrow.
Boom. What if you sucked? Like, what if you just were terrible at it?
Dude, I don't even give a shit. I'd look cool doing it.
like painfully terrible at bow and arrow, and you're just like, no! Like
no, man, you would see me like just off in the distance, like skipping and hopping, and as I'm like midair, just like shooting my arrow. I don't care if I'm hit. Dude, I look great doing it.
It's like Josh, we need to speak with you. You struck one of our allies in the back.
Did I look good doing it though?
Kind of. I mean, you jumped over like a small pebble when you did it.
And if I did hit an enemy though, they'd be like, "Wow, that was cool."
Right? I mean, it's like you threw something really fast and got somebody with it. That's hilarious.
I would have to say Legolas in Lord of the Rings definitely sold me on anything and everything archery from a very young age.
Yeah, he was something, man. That was cool. That was a good movie. That was a
how
good
about
series.
you, man? Are you flailing maces or are you bashing skulls with shields?
Oh, man. I'm using the flute.
Oh, nice.
Because no, I can't even go through with that.
Was it the skin flute?
Like, no, I'm using the flute because violence is never the answer. Like, dude, you suck.
Ah.
No, I'm total like sword and shield. But the thing is I don't have the physique for it. I'm not like a massive built brute. I'm like 5'7". Like I can't. Like I'm not. That's not me. I would be like the guy in the very back with like a wooden stick sword. Like I'm peasant going in whenever everyone else is dead.
Hey man, I mean back in those times, little 14-year-old kids were out on those battlefields. It don't matter what age you were.
But were they effective?
Probably. I mean, even if they didn't kill anybody, they were a distraction.
Thanks, Josh. I feel so much better now. I feel great.
You helped. In some way, you helped.
Yeah, I helped by sacrificing myself so one guy can kill one guy.
Isn't that what counts?
And then he probably died.
Maybe. But you know what? You would never know, and that doesn't matter.
Like you die and you see all black, and right before you die, you get like a plus sign that says kill assist. Like, oh, I did something, and then you like fade away and you're done. Like kill assist.
I knew I was
like my entire life culminated to a kill assist in a medieval battle. But that's what I'd like. That's typically what I choose when I play like games. So maybe if it was realistic and I have like my human brain, I'd be like terrified. I imagine I'd be terrified, and maybe I would choose something that would keep me like far back. But that's kind of where I'm at there. I mean, really like that.
You can stay far back, but if you got nobody helping you, eventually they're gonna come up to you. So
that's true.
You got the full balanced defense and offense there.
That's true. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at there. So I was gonna say one thing that we've talked about that we're going to be talking about on the show here is trade stories, things about our jobs, but we also have a lot of stories that revolve our kids, which some of those are just ridiculous. Pretty much every episode is going to have a couple of stories based on our lives. Or if you guys want to comment to us stories that you have, I can try and explain it as best I can to make it, enjoyable and funny. Because more than likely, if you write a story to me, it's because it's funny and it's worth being like shared. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Please don't send us some like copy pasta stories.
Yeah, or like somebody like sends us like the plot to like Toy Story. Like what? Like I walked in and my toys were alive and they were plotting to like. All right, dude. All right, I'll read it. I actually might read that. That'd be fun. But like read how somebody else like a whole new perspective of Toy Story. But we're also going to talk about some of our embarrassing moments in life that we've had because it sounds like that'd be kind of fun to share with you guys as loyal listeners to the show. Like,
wait, I didn't sign up for that part.
Yeah, well, you're doing it. Yeah, and then just life in general, good things, bad things, things that are annoying. We'll talk about life before COVID and then life during COVID. I know your life's changed a lot since COVID started.
Yes and no. Some people would disagree because I was quite a hurt prior to COVID anyway. Because I mean, yeah, just living Living in Florida, I just prefer to stay indoors.
Dude, the amount of stories you're gonna have just because you live in Florida is gonna be staggering.
Oh yeah.
just wonderful.
I've got some of the most ridiculous things to share with you all. Some things that will actually not be able to be said on this podcast.
Yeah.
But would you like to announce the news of the installment?
Yeah, I will. And I honestly don't see it being weekly, maybe monthly, but we have talked about doing another podcast. I guess you'd call it like a sister podcast with this one called the Mindless Midnight Show, where things are a little bit more explicit.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah, so we could do that if that's something you guys would want to listen to as well. If you just can't get enough of us during the week and you want to hear more of our stuff, we can definitely get crazy and add more. But it's just going to be on a different setting than these. These are more chill. I mean, they're still not like, I'm not going to like never say a swear word because that's just kind of how stories are told sometimes.
I definitely don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're going out with, and we're going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon. But one thing that I'll say, that we did not talk about before at all, actually, is we did not talk about sports. Like that's such a huge thing in so many people's lives, and we did not talk about that at all. So, Josh, you start.
All right. Well, I mean, it's pretty quick and straightforward. I'm not too big on any like all the sports. I more so just really enjoy hockey. Like fully, I can watch it on TV, and I enjoy it as if I'm there. Now, mind you, I say I only like hockey, but if I am at a stadium or an arena watching any other sport, I usually am totally into it because the atmosphere of everyone else there, they're pumped up. I get pumped up. Like, I don't even care who wins. Let's just like have fun and get pumped up.
Yeah.
It's always a great time.
And I can definitely agree with that because like my family, like my mom's side of my family, they are big into NASCAR and I'm not. And NASCAR is pretty big here in Texas. There's the Daytona. So they go to the races and whatnot. Well, when I was younger, I don't know, I was like 16 maybe. I went to a race and someone that's never really cared to watch it totally bored me watching it. But at the race, when you're there, how loud the atmosphere, how crazy it is, it was awesome. It was really cool. And I mean, not to mention, I did do quite a bit of underage drinking there, but everybody did. Like, there was toddlers that were just like stumbling around.
Oh,
but they just do that though. But how do we know?
I mean, my kid's a drunk midget for all I know.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good comparison. And I know a lot of you probably heard it, but like kids are so like relatable to drunks,
It's very true.
It's so true. It's so true. But yeah, so my sports are growing up, never got into them. My older brother was super big into baseball, watches it, loves it. They watch football. I like sports, and if it's on, I'll watch it, but I never really pursue it. I was really big into skateboarding. I started skateboarding when I was like 8 years old, and I still do it to this day. I'm just not, and I used to be pretty good. I used to do a ton of tricks down ledges and all that stuff. I used to really get into it. But now I just kind of do it for fun a little bit here and there. I can still do tricks, but I'm getting old, I feel. Like the last time I skated, I fell and I hit my elbow really hard, and I was kind of done for a few weeks.
Yeah, I like my shins. I don't want to hurt them anymore.
Yeah, skateboarding can definitely get your shins. But now it's like I'm skating, and while I'm skating, I was like, I better be careful. My insurance might not cover a broken ankle, like, yeah, such a loser now. Like,
hey man, it's what you got to worry about as you get older. It sucks. I'm
It's
on
true.
the same boat. I mean, I probably would never hop back on my skateboard because like almost undoubtedly, like I can just try an ollie and I'll probably be eating shit.
Oh, let's get you drunk and then try.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Then
will
you're
say
like,
this, though. I probably wouldn't get on a skateboard, but I would do something 10 times stupider because I think it'd be even better. Is I would definitely get on a longboard and go down a hill. That was my favorite thing to do.
Oh, that's straight up. I bow down to you here. I can never do that ever.
No?
No.
Man, I got a really good story about like longboarding in a hill.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're definitely gonna get so many stories, and I will release the topic of next week's episode for you guys, and it's gonna sound lame, but there's a lot that can be talked about here and joked about here, made fun of, like so much. Traffic.
And mind you guys, before you start, like, I live in Florida. Like, we are the state with the worst drivers that come from all over the world,
Yes.
confined into one little peninsula. So I have plenty here that is just
It's gonna be
gonna
so funny.
jog
Yeah.
your guys' mind, unless
Yeah.
you guys live here too, and then you already know.
Yeah. So it's gonna be great. And I drive, and by traffic I also mean like things that we've seen people do in traffic and do as pedestrians on the sidewalks. And I mean, and I really hope that there is some traction off after this, because I would love for us to already have stuff sent to us that we can share and talk about. Because really the main purpose of this is to entertain by being mindless and talk about things that everybody already knows about. Like you're probably really not going to learn a whole lot from this. It's not like an educational podcast, but it sure would be nice to have a morning show that you can listen to without commercials, that you can just chill with and vibe with and agree with and laugh with. So that's really the end goal here, is to be something that you enjoy and listen and have a good time without having to, like, a good break from your week, because every Wednesday morning you'll have this show and you'll have some topic and you'll have us talking about it and, laughing. And I think that's something that a lot of people would like, because I don't see a whole lot of it out there.
Yeah. Usually people are very topic heavy. They have one niche that they fill, and that'd be just about it. And honestly,
Yeah.
we're looking to fill all your niches.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so think about it. Traffic, anything revolving traffic that you can think of that you think is funny, entertaining, something that is worth mentioning and sharing, let us know. We are going to have a lot of links here at this episode description. So just go ahead and click on every one of them and just follow every one of them mindlessly. It's kind
Absolutely.
of it's a great idea to do that.
Yes.
So we might leave you here and think about it. Join us. Come back next week. We're going to have more, and it's going to be fun. So I really hope you liked the pilot, and we hope you come back and share it, and we can grow together.
Yeah, there's a lot more that we have to talk about. We have tons of stories for you guys, our embarrassing moments, all stuff, life, games, music, movies, all this stuff. So we really want you guys to come back. We want you guys to listen, and most importantly, we want to thrive off of you guys. So please get to us, give us feedback.
Yeah,
and
we love you.
Yes,
we love you so much
much.
Already, just love you so much.
I mean, if you've gotten this far, you just might as well.
Yeah, right. It's like at the end of every episode, Nick cries. I love you guys so much. Like, oh god, here we go. Are we gonna make that a segment? No, I can't control it, man. Love you so much. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. So we hope you guys tune in next week, and we hope you have a good rest of your week. Take care, folks.
All right. See you guys.
Goodbye.